Personality, health and music, and doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Mother Judge Sambo, Honorable Minister State Waxenhausen is in the mixer. So we say most sincerely, you're welcome. Alaji Ismaila Fakalla, Censorship Board, Hate, Kano State is here in the mixer. You're welcome, you're welcome. All personalities in here, Honorable Nazir, we call it. Yes, Rabba Garama. We are also acknowledge and recognize all of us. DJ, over to you once again, please.
Wannan wakar ba ta kuɗi wace ba.
Hindi ba na kuɗi ba ne ba.
Yamma Najeriya. Za ba mu daloli mun ki karba. Na ce ku gaya musu yanci.
Ba na kuɗi ba ne ba. 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 Bana kuɗi ba ne, 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 bana kuɗi ba ne.
Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the presidency, mix, Senator Andy Uba, MFR, and the ladies and gentlemen, High Chief APC are holding here. May I, ladies and gentlemen, announce the arrival here in our midst of former governor of Adamawa State, His Excellency Jibrila Bindo is in the mix of us. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome, Your Excellency. You're welcome, Your Excellency, and of course, your entourage.
Wannan wakar ba ta kuɗi wace ba.
Hindi ba na kuɗi ba ne ba.
Yamma Najeriya. Za ba mu daloli mun ki karba. Na ce ku gaya musu yanci.
Ba na kuɗi ba ne ba. 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 Ba na kuɗi ba ne ba.
Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the presence here in our mix of the Secretary of the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, MB Shehu. It is. Sir, you're welcome. Equally, the DG of the Basa, Sir Yusuf Jamo is in the mix of us. Sir, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Barrister Sam Ode Emena, former Minister, Niger Delta Affairs, is here. Equally, ladies and gentlemen from Katuna State,
Hindi ba na kuɗi ba ne ba.
May I request an announcement, please? We are requesting the indulgence of the Executive Governor of Kogi State, and Zamfara State to please come up stage. The governors of Kogi, Alajaya Bello, Doza Bello, and Matawa Lebaradun. May I, only the governors, please, without
sounds and the sound from just to give you a sense of the ambience what we've been doing in the last couple of minutes. And of course, if you've been with us in the last hour, in the last 2 hours, you would have seen that we've been bringing you interviews of not just dignitaries, but delegates to the National Convention here. I've got former governorship aspirant, governorship candidates, as a matter of fact, from Imo State in the last governorship elections. Honorable Uche Nwoye, he's here. Nwosu, I beg your pardon. Uche Nwosu, I beg your pardon. Sorry, I was calling you Uche Nwoye. Tony Nwoye of Nance. He was also governorship candidate in Anambra. You're all governorship candidates, and we tend to get them mixed up sometimes. Sorry about that. Uche Nwoye, I beg your pardon, from Imo State, once governorship candidate of the ruling All Progressives Congress there. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Abuja for the National Convention of the governing party. Give us a sense of where the Imo State delegation is at the moment, of course, considering some of the issues that have played out in the months, in the weeks, even in the minutes leading to this particular convention. I've seen Owele Rochas Okorocha a couple of minutes ago with a delegation behind him. I saw the state governor, of course, also, with his own delegation also moving about. Give us a sense of where Imo State is at the present and how united or what front you're coming to the National Convention with.
Thank you very much. First, I want to congratulate our delegates and all members of APC who are here today. These have shown that we are united. These have shown that APC is a strong, united, and vibrant party. On the matter concerning Imo State, what we want is a united party. At this point in time, we want to have our convention, united convention. There is no division for now, so that we can get it right and have our convention and then go back to our various places peacefully. So whether Governor Hope Uzodinma camp, whether Senator Rochas Okorocha camp, what we need at this present time is a united convention. So it does not matter who camp any delegates belong.
Is this perhaps a harbinger of what is to come? You've just talked about unity. I get the sense that if you can quell this unity factionalization in the party at this point because of an higher purpose. Do I get a sense that going forward the unity might just play beyond the National Convention? Of course, and we see that playing out in the days after the election.
Perfectly. Our prayers is that the incoming national executive should be able, the attacks for me, 1, reconciliation, 2, reconciliation, 3, reconciliation, 4, reconciliation, 5, reconciliation. Once they are able to reconcile factions in different states, Rivers, Imo, Zamfara, Ekiti, so many of them, once they're able to do this, believe me that we are going into 2023 with a united party and we're going to carry the day.
Honorable, I look around me, I look to my left, I look to my right, I see delegates from different states. If I would just ask the camera to pan a bit, if I would ask the camera to just pan a bit to my right, well, my cameraman seems to be engaged, he's battling. If I would just ask the camera to pan a bit to my right, just to give you a sense of what is happening here at Eagle Square, to give you a sense of the crowd here. It's honorable. What I'm saying is, one could describe it as baffling. As a matter of fact, it is estimated, we had assumed that we would have like 12,000 delegates attending the National Convention. This is beyond that number, I guess.
Yes, because it's a party that is progressive and it's a party that accommodates everybody. There is a restriction for delegates and there are restrictions for other people too who are not delegates. So what you see here today is to tell you that APC is the #1 party in Nigeria, and APC remains one of the strongest parties in Africa. You can, in some parties, by now you would have seen fights, you would have seen pushing, you have seen the other way.
It seems to be a journey. It seems to be a journey.
People with their drums, people exchanging greetings, hugging each other, people from Kano hugging people from Maedo, people from Edo, hugging people from Sokoto. That is what we need in APC, and that is why we are here today, jointly united to elect our next.
And of course, the expectation would be that it should carry on beyond the national convention. I mean, going forward, or what are your expectations going forward? Generally, for the national body of the party, for state chapters, for local government chapters as well.
Yes, going forward. After this convention, my prayer is that the incoming national executives should reconcile the party structures in the different states. Again, kudos to Mr. President for coming in when people thought that APC is a crisis. And the president came in, had meetings, few meetings, and everything came together again. I want to beg Mr. President to continue with these meetings until we have our presidential candidate. Once the president was able to handle all this, and once the NEC are able to reconcile, it does not matter which particular group you belong, carry everybody along. If the NEC are able to carry everybody along, believe me, we are going to have a stronger party. We are going to have a stronger.
I see this for our state governor heading towards us. Thank you so much, Honorable. Let me see if I can actually catch this for our state governor. Is heading to Your Excellency. Your Excellency, we're live. Please, if you'll just join us, we're live. Please, Your Excellency, if you can just come this way. Well, unfortunately, I couldn't succeed there. Honorable, thank you so much for joining us. I wanted to see if I'll be able to catch this for our state governor, but his security details there knocks out the wind. In me for a bit there. Let me just catch my breath and let's continue to give you some sound. Ambience. Continue to give you ambience from the Eagle Square, and then when we have more delegates or dignitaries there to interview, we'll come right back with you.
Many thanks, Unamdi Odipo, for that trying to get the governor of Zamfara State there. In fact, it's been a tough job, and I must commend our correspondents live at the Eagle Square, feeding us with live developments as the All Progressives Congress holds its much anticipated national convention today. Now, this is coming 638 days after the dissolution of the last substantive National Working Committee led by Adams Oshomole. The new national and zone officers of the party will be elected at the convention, which was actually earlier built for February 26, but shifted to March 26, which is today. The convention is also expected to approve the amended sections of the party's constitution and ratify the activities of the caretaker and extraordinary convention planning committee. Talking about the CECPC. Now, you would recall that the party held its ward, local government and state congresses last year, and no fewer than 7,584 delegates will take part in voting at the convention today, as disclosed by the party in a tweet. Now, the delegates will elect the 21 members of the National Working Committee from the 169 aspirants for various positions to take over the leadership of the 9-year-old party from the CECPC. Now, the 12-member committee led by Governor Mala Buni of Yobe State was constituted on June 25, 2020, after the sack of the Adams Oshomole-led National Working Committee to run the party and package a convention within 6 months. But it could not do so until now. The main attraction of today's event is the election of a new chairman. Now, 7 members of the party bought the expression of interest and nomination forms to vie for the position zoned to the North Central. The aspirants included 2 former governors of Nasarawa State and 7 senators, Abdullahi Adamu and Tanko Almakura. Others are former Benue governor and current minister of special duties, George Akume. The senator for Niger East, Sani Musa, former deputy chairman of the defunct CPC, Saliu Mustafa from Kwara State, and an aide to Niger State Governor Mohammed Etsu. Although he's not from the North Central region, we also saw Abdulaziz Yari, a former governor of Zamfara State from the Northwest region, who was in the race. However, following the directive of the leader of the party, talking about President Muhammadu Buhari, 6 chairmanship aspirants have written a letter of withdrawal from the race at today's national convention for the position of the chairman and agreed on the president's preferred candidate for the position. talking about Senator Abdullahi Adamu. It's important to state that the convention, which is a precursor to the conduct of primaries for candidates of the party, has a direct bearing on the fortunes of the party in the 2023 general election. Now, let me also mention that about a year and 9 months after its National Working Committee was dissolved, the National Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee of APC has declared that all political appointees who were elected as delegates to the National Convention will not vote in view of the controversy surrounding Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act 2022. However, political appointees can still attend as observers, and there are also indications that some states will not be voting at today's National Convention, which include Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, and Taraba. The election of the state executive committees of the affected states are subject to litigation in the court, hence the party bar in the states. However, statutory delegates from the affected states will be allowed to vote, while delegates that emerge from the congresses held in the affected states will be exempted from voting. Now, that is a build-up to where we are at the moment. So, of course, as you've heard from our correspondents on the field, it's a massive crowd right there. But right here in the studio, I have two gentlemen who will be joining me in this discussion this evening. I'm being joined by the Chairman Partners for Electoral Reforms, Ezenwa Onwago. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And I also have with me a public affairs analyst, Ibrahim Modibo.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so I want to thank my colleague who has been here, Fisayo Ogunfuyi, who has actually held things down since 2 p.m. when this live studio discussion opened. I am Ian Ray John, and of course, the next few hours we will be analyzing this convention. So I'd like to begin with you, Ezenwa, because we made you enter the studio. You said Nigerians keep telling you they're not interested in things like this, or they're tired, but you can see the massive crowd at Eagle Square and you're wondering where they're coming from. What exactly, or how would you, say that such conventions, affect our politics or our political landscape in the country?
Well, it's important that this convention is holding. It's important that the APC is able to wield, there's this lingo that got into our political discussions many years ago, behemoth. They say, they used to hear that the ruling party then was a behemoth and that it will implode internally and all of those things. So, but we've seen a party that looks like it's the cracks that we saw earlier has come together. And what I'm seeing driving down to the studio is much more like a form fair. And I was, if you coming from where I was coming from and saw the mass of people, the impression you get is that if you're on social media, for instance, if you're on Twitter, or if you were following Twitter, you would think that you will just drive through and come, because the feeling you get, Nigerians are tired of this, Nigerians are tired of that. And this, for me, punctures all of that postulation. It tells you that Nigerians love democracy, what's and all. It tells you that Nigerians want it consolidated. It tells you that it's a work in progress. It tells you that they are looking to a situation in which this democracy will begin to work for them.
Okay, so just before I go over to Ibrahim Modibo to also tell me how he feels, about the polls at the Eagle Square, let's join my colleague Ruth Aguele, who is live at the Eagle Square, to feed us with more updates from the National Convention of the All Progressives Congress. Ruth. Okay, I'm sure that Ruth, are you ready?
With Senator Prince Bassi Otu, he's one of the delegates representing Cross River State. And before this interview, he tells me his expectation is really high, but let him tell you.
Yes, I'm part of the delegation from Cross River State to this very convention. We are happy as one united APC family to be here. You can see the atmosphere. I think the whole of Nigeria is here, and this is truly the party to beat.
The APC have proven over time that they're forced to reckon with when it comes to unity of purpose. What would you want to see at the end of this convention, the kind of leaders that will emerge to lead this party for the next 4 years?
What we're looking at is just leaders that will take this country, that will move this country forward. Already some firm foundation has been laid by the APC government of today. It's just that we have problems all over the world, and economies here and there are being rejected. But Nigeria has been put in proper position now for sustainable progress. So we are looking for a gentleman that will move this country forward, that will consolidate on the gains which we have laid on the ground. So continuity will be the word.
And talking about consolidating on the gains of democracy, the ruling APC party has been, for Nigeria for the past 7 years or more, and stay counted. What kind of impact do you think the party has been able to make for Nigerians so far?
There's been impact on almost every sector. Just like I say, because of the difficulties of the situation in the world today, it's been difficult at times for people to know. But if you go to agri, so much has been done by way of intervention to make sure that our food security is almost sure in the near future. If you look at areas like transportation, I think giant steps have been taken, both in terms of making sure that provincial banking governance has been put in place, which means whether definitely this country is going to move forward. So we are sure that they put some proper solid pillars which will move the country forward.
So lastly, what do you expect from every candidate vying for political position today to ensure we have a rank-up-free election?
Well, all I will expect from all the candidates here is for them to understand that it is God that puts people into position. Let it not be something that will bring either acrimony or bring some situation which is not very good for our party. Let all of us come together and make sure that it is as peaceful as possible, and let the winners be gallant in victory. Let them be able to embrace the losers, and together we will build APC and build the country.
Thank you very much, Senator. Thank you for your time, and we wish the best candidates all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks. That was Senator Bassi representing Cross River State. We have the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo, just around the corner. Ajia, we're told that activities have actually picked up in the Eagle Square here. Strings of people, a lot of delegates are already arriving, and a lot of people are already, positioned themselves, waiting for the convention to kick off properly. As soon as we can get a hold of the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, we'll definitely get him here. But let's talk to this. One of the delegates already standing by. Let's know you, ma'am.
Juliet Ibeka Kumwagu, and I'm Special Assistant to the President on. I'm Juliet Ibeka Kumwagu, and I'm Special Assistant to the President on Justice Reform and International Relations. I'm here as, first of all, because I'm a political appointee, I'm as an observer. Of course, a strong member of APC in Enugu State.
Okay.
I was a former senatorial candidate in 2019 in Enugu State.
Okay. And of course, you are here because you're a woman and you want to see women well represented here.
I want to see women represented, but most importantly, we want to have a strong presence of APC in Enugu State. We believe that this is the time to reinforce once again the fact that democracy is important, and everything we are doing today is about reinforcing democracy at the grassroots, at the ward level, at the state level, and at the national level.
And over time, women have continued to prove themselves that yes, they can do it if they get the necessary support. But what is your opinion regarding women's participation in politics beyond Enugu State, but Nigeria as a whole?
Well, my view is that the system we have today is not supporting women enough. We believe that with the constitutional review, with the support of the National Assembly members, we should have more women in the legislative arm of government, not just at the national level, but also at the state level, and even as local government chairmen and councillors. So the truth of the matter is there's always this view that only certain women, only men actually should be represented at the National Working Committee of the party. That's not true. So we mandate to encourage more women to participate in electoral positions that are available for NWC. For example, we have women participating as a national treasurer. But as we speak, I know she's having problem trying to get herself into the unity list, as it were. But she's ready to contest it, and I think she should be given the opportunity to contest. So we're urging more women to come out, not just for electoral positions, but for party positions. Because if the women come in for the party positions, there is every likelihood that they will support other women to come into office.
Yes, indeed. Opportunity and support are the key two words there. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your time. Thank you. All right, women, you here are fully represented here at the National Convention of the All Progressives Congress. Ajia, earlier you were just sharing with me your thoughts on how you think this time around women have decided to prove themselves different.
Okay, Ruth, thank you very much. Yes, you and I have been here for a very long time, and we've also seen how women have also come out today to be part of the process, and not also forgetting that they have always been part of the process. And today is not different. By the numbers we've seen around, you know, all the pavilion, you will see the dominance of women. And from the women you've spoken to, we've also got to hear from them that they wouldn't want to be left behind, more so when they are pushing and pushing from all angles to be part of the process that will elect women, not only seeing women being appointed. And I think it's a very good development, just like the women have brought their voice also to be counted as part of the APC 2022 National Convention here at Eagle Square.
Well, Ajia, no doubt history is being made today as delegates are expecting this convention to turn out positively, ransom-free and hitch-free. We'll definitely keep you posted, studio. So let's hand it back to the studio.
Many thanks, Ruth, Aguele, and Abdullahi Adia. Very interesting interviews coming from the Eagle Square. And I particularly like the take on women. I'll get to that much later because, of course, looking at the candidates for the chairmanship position for this national convention, there's no woman on that list. Okay, so just before we joined my colleague at Eagle Square, I was coming to you, Ibrahim Modibo, talking about this convention. You know, like Isam already mentioned, it's looking like a carnival of some sort. You know, people are excited. You see the crowd, you know, people coming from different parts of the country for this convention. What is the significance, really, of conventions like this to the political landscape of this country?
Well, let me first and foremost thank the NTA for inviting me to share my thoughts with a very consummate and highly resourceful civil society guru like Ezon Wogu, who has always been here, you know, contributing positively towards the democratic structure of this country. Having stated this, I strongly believe that Mr. President, in his patriotic and nationalistic intervention in the process of good governance, has been able to come up to stamp his feet on the sands of time, bearing in mind that before now, there had been this shifting the goalpost, shifting the position of the referee, shifting the players. You know, the Mai Malabuni administration has done very well as Caretaker Committee. They have wonderfully performed, while we've seen the party attracting a lot of people from the opposition, especially governors from several states, senators, and other party stalwarts of great repute have been able to come into the party. And this makes the party the more the merrier. Because under the more democratic structure or setup, the people matter. Because it's all about government of the people, for the people, and by the people, going by the dictates of Abraham Lincoln's definition of democracy. Now, seeing this as it is at the moment, the importance of convention in the political or democratic setup cannot be overemphasized for very obvious reasons. It is a platform where politicians meet to bring out the manifestos, what they want to do to the people, to sell themselves, to show their leadership capabilities, to show the importance of, or the attraction of what they want to offer to the people in trying to lead the party to victory. Now we're moving into 2023, where the presidential elections and other elections will come up. Now, a party such as the APC, with almost over 40 million adherents or people that have been registered as a political party is one of the largest in sub-Saharan Africa. Whether we like it or not, it is a fact that APC as it is today parades itself as one of the best traditions of democracy or political parties in sub-Saharan Africa. And therefore, with this, the convention as it is today at the Eagle Square can be emphasized. I've stated for the purpose of emphasis. I'm making this emphasis, bear in mind that the people have to come up as Democrats from various geopolitical zones, irrespective of the culture, religion, tradition, and what have you. They've been able to come up as a formidable team. Because as it is today, a lot of people, as we've seen at the Eagle Square, one gentleman was saying that, look, people from the east will come and hug those from the north, those from the north will hug the south and what have you. That shows the symbol of maturity. It shows the cohesiveness of a political party. It shows the maturity that has been displayed at a convention, which is more of a carnival, to display the political, ambience of the political party. APC, as it is today, is getting set for 2023. And the only way to do that is for us to have a convention that is anchor-free, a convention that will be devoid of, crisis, a convention that will be able to push forward the best first team, the best 11, if it were to be a football team. And what the president has been able to do today, how I wish Mr. President had been doing this right from the onset. But if you look at the profile, his political profile, since he came on board, he was only bothered about the administration of his governance, not minding so much about political party. That's why you see that in several states, we've been having crisis. Go to Rivers, go to Zamfara, go to Kano and whatever. But now, looking at the issue before APC, going into 2023, we cannot go as a divided house. APC symbol is the broom. And the broom is a team of straws of broom tied together.
Yes,
that is
united.
Symbolic of a political party that is nationalistic, very patriotic, and also a political party that will move this country forward beyond 2023.
All right. You have actually, drawn my attention to something, talking about the fact that the party intends to move the country beyond 2023 and talking about unity. And I'm sure that's the reason why those contesting for the chairmanship position actually came together early today to agree, before this convention that, one person should actually go ahead in order to avoid rancor, like you said, to avoid issues that would eventually maybe bring up other issues that will break up the party. So these chairmanship aspirants and their supporters actually came together and signed a letter agreeing that Abdullahi Adamu should lead the party as a consensus chairman for this national convention, which is holding today. And we have a profile of the man, Abdullahi Adamu. He is, according to reports that we have gotten, yes, and signed by the political, the aspirants, talking about the other 6 aspirants for the chairmanship position of the All Progressives Congress National Working Committee, that Abdullahi Adamu should lead them. So let's see his profile before we continue this discussion.
The man, Abdullahi Adamu, popularly known in the political cycle as the bridge builder, was born in the year 1946, July 23rd, in the ancient city of Kefi. He started his academic pursuit at the age of 7, where he attended the prominent Auduzanga Primary School from 1953 and later Laminga High School. He proceeded to Government Secondary School Makudi and Government Technical College Bukuru Jos. Abdullahi Adamu acquired academic qualifications at various times, but precious and close to his heart is the LLB honor from the University of Jos, which later saw him being called to bar in 1993. As a young man in 1967, he joined the Electricity Corporation of Nigeria and then the Northern Nigeria Development Corporation, Kaduna. He was later appointed member, secretary, and chairman of various organizations such as Benue Plateau Construction Company, Boku, and member Board of Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. He went into full-time politics in 1977, where he was elected into the Constituent Assembly, a reputable form of intellectuals that drafted the country's Second Republic Constitution. At the return of democracy in 1978, he was one of the founding fathers of the then National Party of Nigeria, NPN, which he later served as the first Secretary General in the old Plateau State and later as chairman of the party. At the emergence of the present political dispensation in 1998, and as one of the founding fathers of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, he contested for the governorship seat and won as the first elected executive governor of Nasarawa State and served 2 terms from 1999 to 2007. For his passion to serve his party, the PDP, he was made the Secretary Board of Trustees of the party after his 2 terms as governor of Nasarawa State. Going by his passion, political successes, and good representation, the good people of Nasarawa Western Rural District called on him to represent them at the Red Chamber.
I'll say with all respect that it will appear to stem from the fact that the government of the day is putting a lot of emphasis in the promotion of agriculture by way of its objective for diversifying the Nigerian economy.
The traditional title holder of Turakin Cafe, the Obateru of the source of the Ile-Ife, is a bridge builder in the Nigerian political landscape who has so many honors and awards to his credit. A farmer to the core, described variously as a unifying factor, non-tribalistic, a one Nigerian pillar of unity, is married and blessed with 6 children.
All right, you just saw the profile of Abdullahi Adamu, and so far at this moment, we hear that he is the consensus chairman of the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress, and that's the reason why the convention is holding today. We also hear that some other positions have also, gone through that same procedure. So, but we'll just wait as events unfold at the Eagle Square. At the moment, let's join my colleague Ruth Aguele at the Eagle Square to give us more updates. Ruth. Yeah, Abby, you can go on.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Ruth. You can go on. I can see you have one of the delegates there.
Okay, thank you very much. I told you earlier that we're expecting the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, who is just around the corner. He's actually one of the delegates, of course, who is in high expectation for today's convention. Minister.
How are you? Good evening. Good to see you. Well, we are excited to be here. This is the supreme organ of the party. When the National Convention meets, all issues are put on the table that unite a party. And so what we're here today to do is an elective convention. We are going to get a brand new National Working Committee that will pilot the party through the 2023 elections, through the primaries and through the main elections. So all the discordant tones you heard before, that is actually in the nature of politics. All the seeming disagreements, they're in the nature of politics. But today, the majority will have its way, but the minority will also have its say here today. You can see that It's a very, very colorful convention. Everybody is excited. And at the end of the day, this is what they call the cement. It brings all of us together as one family. And we are ready at the end of the day to face the opposition in the general elections.
And I will hold you to your word, Honorable Minister, because the 2023 elections is just around the corner, and you know today's convention is very strategic. The kind of leaders that will be elected today will determine how the party will perform come 2023 elections. What do you want to see differently from what has been happening in the past year?
Well, the leadership that is set to emerge today by consensus, especially the national chairman, is one of the best choices we've ever made. He has enormous experience. He has intelligence. In fact, he was my classmate at the law school. We were both called to the bar same day in 1993. Abdullah Adamu, he was much older than me. So don't think I'm an old man. But he was one of our elders in class, then. Intelligent man. He has a huge pedigree, and we are lucky to have him at this time. He has huge integrity too. So I think we are lucky going into this convention with some kind of consensus. The other issues will sort them out at the end of the day. But like the president said, we are ready at the end of the day to ensure that those people, and you know them, do not get their filthy hands on politics on government again.
You are a barrister, and there's a controversy around the consensus. Some legal experts have come out to say consensus for this kind of convention is against the Electoral Act, Section 82, subsection 3, if I'm correct.
Well, consensus in this respect is not used in the strict legal sense. Consensus in this respect is used in the sense of an agreement between major stakeholders. If you listen to the governor of Kebbi State a few days ago, he said, if you buy a form and you are clear, nobody's preventing you from contesting. It's just that you are going against the grain of popular opinion. And if at the end of the day you are defeated, you have to take it. So they are not going to really prevent anybody from running. They are not going to do a voice vote, because when there are two people involved in the race for a particular office, nobody's going to do a voice vote. No, nobody's going to say the other person is shut out. At the end of the day, everybody will test his popularity on the ballot box. But the consensus we are talking about is in the sense of the unity list, where most stakeholders have agreed on certain persons. And that is in the mode of a consensus. But consensus in the strict sense of the legal sense of the Electoral Act is that every aspirant to that office has to sign an undertaking. But that is not the case here. When two people are still insistent on running for an office, all well and good, they'll meet in the field.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for making that clear for us. Thank you for your time. All the best. All right. That was the Honorable Minister for Labor and Employment. We told you earlier that women have come out in full force. We have another vibrant delegate here standing with us. Let's know you, please.
My name is Ambassador Zainab Muhammad. I am the National Coordinator, Women Nigeria Entrepreneurs for Osibanjo. Yes, we are here to support the movement. We are calling on Osibanjo as the entrepreneurs to come out with full force to run for the presidency 2023. Entrepreneurs are the heart of Nigerians. So we need someone who will make it beat.
Okay, beyond the support campaign for the candidates you're talking about, what about women's participation, women coming out to support, and play active role in politics?
That is why we are here as women. We are encouraging women to come out and participate. Without women, there will not be politics, because women have been doing this for a very long time. And I believe everyone is sure about that. Yes.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, I don't need to state it further that women are actually bringing out their voices to say that, yes, they can do this thing called politics. Studio is back to you.
Ruth, of course, women can actually play politics too. And like they would say, what a man can do, woman can do much better. I'm sure that if women get the positions that the men are getting will definitely do better than the men. I'm sure everyone would not agree with that point of mine. But before I would find out what you think about women participation in politics in the country, and of course at the political level, I saw you shaking your head when Ruth was talking with one of the delegates, actually Festus Kayamo, about the consensus, arrangement for this convention. What's your take on it, really?
Well, I think the minister's explanation is congent to the point that he explained what consensus in this context means. But I am worried. I am particularly worried because, and I've continued to make that point. You see, we are celebrating the role of the president, the role of the chief executive in building this, holding this party together. There's a problem with it. We must build a political culture that restores power to the individual member of the party, in the sense that you allow for contests. You see, we are beginning to, and unfortunately, the president is not the first to do that. I've continued to maintain that point, that one of the things that President Obasanjo bequeathed to the country is the idea of removing contests in the name of taking away conflict. Let's not there be conflict. But politics, election is a competitive enterprise. Once you take away contest from it, you are now giving. What you are doing is we give him, and once it is we give him, then you are beholden to the giver. And that is why our politics is not growing the way we can. This is fine. It's a carnival, but we should also come to that point where we are able to find a way for people to contest without necessarily without malice and violence and the rest of them. Otherwise, you will find out that if there is no central figure, in the sense in which we are looking at it, when this central figure is out, you need to start a mechanics that now needs to hold the party together. And it's not all the time that you have a personality that has that capacity to always wield, this bricksmanship that the president brought to bear, that we are all celebrating. As nice as it is also important that we bear in mind that the individual member of the party is important. We cannot continue to criminalize aspiration in our country, where people cannot just wake up and say, my brother and friend Ibrahim Modibo can't say, I want to be, except he goes to worship, and gets there's a problem with it. So this is just one part of it. So having said that, for the convention that is going on, I think that temporarily APC has got a relief through the intervention of the president, but it needs to think through much more deeper in terms of how it's going to be able to hold this party together after this central figure is no longer playing this role. Because, like he said, we elect a president. In the constitution of the APC, there is nowhere that you find leader. There is no leader of the party in the constitution of the APC. The president has one party card, as any other person has. But the position he occupies, the resources, the ability to dispense patronage is what makes him this Superman that he has become. Okay? We need to be able to think through and think away from that. If we don't do that, we are going to kill our parties and continue what we inherited from a military infusion that President Obasanjo bequeathed to us, where they don't like contests. They are just afraid of, they like command. The idea that somebody is contesting anything is abhorrent to their nature. But democracy is about contestation. It's about contestation. So we can celebrate all we want right now, but there is work for us as a people, as a country that wants to build a political system in which my sister, as a woman, like you keep saying, will not need to worship in any shrine before you become anything. And that for me is very critical and important. Sure.
Okay, let's quickly go over to the Eagle Square now before Ibrahim Modibo would react.
Babbar jam'iyya mai nasara da sa'a adalci ta cinye zaɓe barin tunkuru ga Buhari da mai wala. A kullum baki ne suke shiga tana tashin kamshi APC tana ruhin jama'u ga Buhari da mai wala. Ko da kwanan nan sun ja da APC ta ba su ƙasa halashe zaɓuka ƙuri'un jama'a kula da girkonta ake duba ga Buhari da mai wala wasu da haziki ta biyu ɗaya. Haɗuwar ku a APC ta haifi arziki biyu su yawa nuna tsarar hukumar taka rawa. Kalla ana ta shari ana fita a dawo APC saboda gaskiya da riko da ita ga Buhari da mai wala. Kowa ya waye ba za mu sake ba wa mabarnata ba su kai mu hallaka kuma ba mu fita ga Buhari da mai wala. APC ke yin kamshin dan goma tana tashe mutan kasar mu sun yi na abu ita ba za mu ƙara saɓe ba ita ba ga Buhari da mai wala. Arziki da biyu guda. Haɗuwar mu a APC ta haifi arziki biyu su yawa nuna tsarin mu kuka taka rawa. Kamshin dan goma APC take yi kai kula tsafka dubi jam'iyya mai farin jini ga Buhari da mai wala. Mai malamu ne sai ta jam'iyya kuma ta saitu mai malabar so da kurjini ga Buhari da mai wala. Dubi tana aiki tun daga kan masaku sai ka taho zuwa ƙasa da shiyoyi ka gani da addu'a da aiki an ci gaba ga Buhari da mai wala wasu da haziki da biyu ɗaya. Haɗuwar mu a APC ta haifi arziki biyu su yawa nuna tsarar mu kuka taka rawa. Buhari yana mulki mai malana ta aikin jam'iyya saboda talakawan Najeriya ga Buhari da mai wala. Ga 'yancin magana a yau siyasa ba wani cin fuska doka da oda kan tsarin gaskiya. Shi ka daɗewa, barna ba wahala ba, ka daɗewa, duka mai daidai ko yayi nufi ne, barna ba wahala ba, to kafin yayi komai ya kira jarrabuwa ne, ka daɗewa, mai komai sai yarda ake yi, barna ba wahala ba, dan shi ne ɗaya mai yi ba wani wanda yake yi, ka daɗewa. Rabe domin komai don sarki idan shi ya yi bishiyoyi har ya nufa tsirar sai barna ba wahala ba yaran ne ka daɗewa waje bai san me na daga yake ba barna ba wahala ba mai nema a kusa wannan bai san a daɗe ba yaran ne ka daɗewa ya kasan kai hakuri ba wai laifin ku bane ba barna ba wahala ba na san an sha wahala ko ba a so ta daɗe ba yaran ka daɗewa shi baban da ya zo ba laifin shi ba ne ba matsaloli da rasa zance ya gina sai ba wahala ba.
It's feeling the pause that the Eagle Square moved to dance to, just like Ibrahim Modibo, who was dancing right here in the studio. Like already established, this national convention is a carnival of some sort, and I'm sure the pictures there and the sounds speak volume to that. So before we went on that musical break, if I must chip in that way, everyone made a valid point that in a bid to avoid conflicts, we're throwing away contest. What, because you spoke earlier and you seem to be in support of the consensus issue, do you really think that this is the way to move forward in our political, landscape in this country? Because it's getting to a point, a frightening point, where people who want to contest with certain positions are now threatened to step down for, another candidate. Is that the way to go?
In both content and character. I'm sure that Ezio Nwogu must have read my mind while speaking on this issue. Or maybe he might have even snatched it from my mouth. Because I strongly believe that as Democrats of conscience, they should be, if you close the door, there should be a window of opportunity for people to contest. Democracy is all about contest. Let me emphasize again. It's a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And if you don't involve the people, you just have picked. The allegiance of the person you have picked goes to the sole administrator, so to say. I am of the opinion that if this contest or if this election would have just been this consensus idea, then there wouldn't have been any need for you to allow people to spend their own resources, printing posters, billboards, spending money, traveling across the country, despite the fact that there's even insecurity in the country. People have been able to traverse north, east, west, and south, spending their resources. At the end of the day, you tell them that, look, you don't need contest. I think that hangover that came from the PDP, I think there's a need for us to modify it, to moderate it. Because Mr. President contested. He didn't get the ticket under consensus. He didn't get the ticket free hand. There was a contest and he won. So I am sure there should have been an institutionalization of the process of choosing leaders for the party. Let us start a standard. That's why today APC paraded itself as a party of change. We should change the narrative from what used to be in the PDP to what should be now. My heart goes to some of these chairmanship aspirants, especially Makura, Salifu, the Senator Musa, and others, Georgia Kume, that have been made to step down. Some people who are saying that they are not voluntarily asking to step down, but then because of the intervention of Mr. President, and all of them have stated, based on what I read, is because they have honor. They have respect for Mr. President. That's why they've been able to step down.
Talking about that honor, respect for Mr. President, he made a valid point that Mr. President is just one person in that political party who has just one card, also like any other person in the party. So every other person should be free to make a choice also.
Who?
Every other person in the political party.
Of course.
You know, the delegates.
If you followed what my discussion now, what I'm saying, I'm in support of allowing a very free, fair, and transparent, credible electoral process, where we'll find evolution of leadership of the party based not on consensus, but based on the popular votes of the people. Why are people coming in droves, over 7,000 or getting 10,000, coming to the Eagle Square? If there wouldn't be any voting, then the best thing would have been for them to stay, remain in their states and maybe just do a mini conference in all the states and then they get the result. But however, you see, at this point in time, the president has been able to save the party maybe from disintegration.
Saving the party from disintegration. I'll hold your line of thought at that point.
You would have allowed me just to land.
Okay.
Just maybe a minute or two.
Okay.
Because he has been able to save the party from possible implosion. But there is the need, urgent need, for Mr. President to fix a reconciliatory committee. Otherwise, the unmitigated consequences of this action is better imagined than experienced. Because some of these people have not willingly given this consensus a nod. So they still have that internal grudges. Therefore, there is the need for process of reconciliation seriously within those that have aspired and those that purported to have lost gallantly and those that have won. So there should be humility and victory. And therefore, I strongly want to appeal to Mr. President to use his good offices in trying to bring this reconciliation to also have a post-convention strategic thinking or strategic committee that will bring reconciliation within the contestants.
All right, we'll find out if this national convention will make or mar the party after this break.
The unity of the party is being strengthened by the day, and I am very comfortable because being chairman of the convention committee, I can see all the support from the governors. So we're making very good progress, and we're looking forward to the convention on Saturday.
The unity is key to this convention, and we're all united. We are one family. We are going to work together for the success of this convention.
You know, APC is a solid, united family. So you can see we are united as governors and as members of APC.
The APC National Convention, stronger and more united for a greater Nigeria. Join us on Saturday, 26th March 2022 at the Eagle Square, Abuja. The APC welcomes you.
This Saturday, 26th of March, at the famous Eagle Square, Abuja, APC delegates from across Nigeria will gather to elect a new leadership that will take our great party to the next phase. Esteemed party members, the task ahead marks the beginning of our quest for a worthy successor who will continue the outstanding legacies of President Muhammadu Buhari. Let us elect candidates who are committed to the change agenda and candidates that adhere to Mr. President's heart. And then we will elect a presidential candidate in the coming weeks who will continue, consolidate, and expand the achievements of Mr. President. As we do this, let us think about a loyalist. Think about a candidate whose candidature will end the agitations for a president from the Southeast and South-South. Think about a great economist, Godwin Ifeanyichukwu Emefiele, a man that has saved the country from countless economic recessions and challenges, a man that believes wholly in the change agenda of Mr. President. This message is sung by Maple Support Group.
The APC welcomes you.
All the governors are committed to delivering the convention at 26 successfully.
The governors are united. They are committed to having the convention and supporting the party beyond the convention to ensure that we win our elections.
The most important thing that we are doing is to reposition the party to a greater height without compromising national interest.
The APC National Convention, stronger and more united for a greater Nigeria. Join us on Saturday, 26th March 2022 at the Eagle Square, Abuja.
It's all about the All Progressives Congress today because their national convention is coming 638 days after the dissolution of the last substantive National Working Committee. So you can understand why there's excitement in the air, why Abuja is packed full with people. Of course, they want to see a National Working Committee that will lead the party into 2023. Now, that brings me to my next question, because Intinwa already mentioned that we're moving away from contests in the bid to avoid conflicts, trying to just bring up candidates by based on being the leader of the party or just because we don't want to have issues and all of that. So now, this particular convention is very critical because, of course, very soon we're going to see party primaries. We're going to see the primaries take place. And of course, 2023 is the future. With the way things are playing out now, what do you think it portends for the party?
First is you need to appreciate how we got here. How did we get to where we are? Did we, at the primaries that the congresses that took place in the states, were there contests, especially in places where APC has governors? If there were no contests, in many places you also had a list. Okay, so you have evolved a culture, and that culture is what I am dealing with. I know that it's convenient, but for me, it's about outsourcing the challenges that you face. You are not having leaders. You are not growing leaders. So the governors appropriate party administration and structure in the states. They push the president, who even doesn't want to do that, because that if I had my brother very clearly, the president has tried as much as possible to be president, but each time they drag him, because of this culture. The governors are lots in their states. Okay, so I am worried that we are killing contest. And I continue to say that. And the reason for that is that we came here now through, apart from the statutory delegates in many states, and I'm aware, and I can say this with every, item of confidence that I can muster, that lists, the same unity list was what brought people to where we are now. So in 2023, you are going to have a situation in which the major political parties will also follow this pattern. But the danger that poses is that you are creating a board. What you are is become a board of how do they say it in business? A board of directors who sit down and appoint executive directors, and that's not what democracy is supposed to be. People should
and
be
in
able
turn can tell them what to do and what not
to do. So we should be looking to a situation in which in 2023 we will have people come to APC and say, I am qualified, I'm a member of this party, I want to be president of the country.
And they'll be allowed
and not just allowed, there will be level playing ground for them to. Because what you do is, like Keyamo was saying, Keyamo didn't say, if you listen to Keyamo carefully, he said, well, we have done a unity list. If you want to go against the grain of the party, come to the field
and test your popularity. All right, thank you, Ezenwa. We'll come back to you, but let's quickly go over to the Eagle Square now. My colleague is standing by.
All right, thank you, studio. Oh, thank you, studio. I think we will continue to get you voices from across so that to make you understand the importance and the very, very beautiful nature of what is going on here. Yes, I have two gentlemen, and they are from the legal luminary profession. First, let me speak with the former and immediate Vice Chairman Southwest of the APC, who is here with us. Sir, what have you brought to this convention today?
Well, this is the beauty of democracy. I must say that I'm so excited that we are showcasing to the whole world that APC believes in democracy. We are picking our leaders, and maybe this will be a good example for other parties to follow. We are great, no, contrary to the speculation that maybe the party was going to blow out. We have proved them wrong. That APC, we are getting stronger and stronger every day. So we brought here the beauty of democracy. That yes, we can pick leaders for the party without any rancor, without any fighting, with party members being free to express their intention, to express their preference in the choice of the various leaders that we have. All the delegates are here from all the states in the Federation of Nigeria.
All right. All right, thank you very much. I think this is much you'll be able to get from you. Let's also turn to my right. I also have another gentleman here who is also an important stakeholder as far as this process is concerned. Sir, what's your name, sir?
I am Chief Olusola Oke, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, a chieftain of APC from Ondo State. I think all of us are glad. You can see since morning, jubilation, celebration, everywhere. We have been able to put the pundits to shame who were predicting that this convention will mark the disintegration of our great party. Rather than disintegrate, the party is waxing stronger, is ever more united, and in few hours after now, we are going to produce new leadership of the party that will see us through the next elections. What is critical now is that APC is going to transit from one government to another. Our mission is to capture more seats, widen the horizon, and be a party that cannot be beaten in any election. The emerging leadership will give us this. I'm happy. I congratulate our leaders for their residence, and I congratulate APC members in Nigeria and overseas for this landmark.
Okay, sir, before we let you go, the importance at this moment is just yesterday, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, instituted a lawsuit against the APC on this very convention. What's your take on this?
Well, it's a panicking measure. First and foremost, what's the business of PDP in the internal affairs of APC? If they have chosen to go to court, I am a senior advocate of Nigeria. We have army of them in APC. We'll meet them there. But I regard that as a panicky reaction. They are overwhelmed by the popularity of APC. They are overwhelmed by the quality of leadership that we have made from this convention. So it is understandable that they want to take some frivolous steps. Be rest assured that we have the capacity, we have the tenacity to join issue with them, and it will fade away. It's a storm in a cup of tea. That's the way I want to put it.
Okay, thank you very much for your time and for being a part of this live telecast. We wish you all the best as you proceed with other activities. I also have a female with us here who will be also lending her voice to what she has seen so far from the start and to this moment, and what she's also expecting at the end of the entire process. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Victoria Amu. I'm a delegate from Edo State. I am so happy to be here. This convention has done nothing but to unite us all as APC members. This is a unifying moment for every one of us. We got to see all the delegates, we got to see all the executives, and everybody is reciprocal in their approach to issues. I am happy I am here. I thank God that this came to be. Many thought that this convention would not hold, but this convention actually came to be.
Okay, we want to thank you for your input and insight to the very convention which we are into at this moment. We wish you all the best as you proceed with other things. Okay, studio, before I go back to you, I also have another gentleman and elder also of the APC who will also be telling us from his observations what he has seen so far, and probably even though with the contest that people are contending in the respective positions, people seem to be happy also at this moment.
Yes, obviously. You can see what is happening all around. People are moving around peacefully, no rancor. And you can see all of the people that are contesting today. They are all going around, all the delegates, and of course with their supporters. So you can see that APC is a very peaceful party, and it's highly organized party. And of course, we don't expect less than this, because our party is the largest party in Africa, and you can't beat it. APC in Nigeria today is the party to beat.
Okay, well, going forward, what do you think about sustainability in terms of carrying all the members at the end of this contest? Definitely, some will win and probably some will lose out. What's your call in terms of trying to unite the party moving forward to contest other elections in the country?
Politics is a game of interest, and whatever is happening in APC today is not unusual. I expect that at the end of today's convention, we will have winners, and of course, it is expected that some people will lose. But the important thing is that the majority will win, and the minority will have their say. But more importantly is the fact that all of us will be united again. Those who are aggrieved definitely will have to come on board, and then all of us will move into the next 2023 election together. And I can assure you, like I said before, the APC is the party to beat.
All right, thank you very much for your time and also your perspective to the issues we have here at hand today. Thank you very much, Sam. Okay, well, that's not all. I also have Roots here who will also be getting us more voices, across board. Roots.
Thank you very much, Haji. I saw your hands were so full, so I decided to give you help. All right, with me here is a member House of Representatives from Ondo State. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Today is a big day. You see everywhere is so rowdy for the All Progressives Congress members. What would you say?
Well, it's not just rowdy. It's a big occasion for the All Progressive Congress. This is a day that we have told the naysayers that APC remains the biggest party in Africa. APC is ready to take Nigeria to the next level. APC is as strong as ever, even stronger than ever. You can see the crowd. You can see how jubilant. You can see how united we are. You can see that we have shown Nigeria that no matter how difficult, how tight it is, people think APC is. APC will always overcome challenges. You can see the joy. One united family, one big, strong, and united APC is what you can see on display today.
And beyond this unity, we see the rancor, the intrigues play out and all of that. What would you want to see differently from party members, if this party must continue to stand firm?
Well, I don't see it as rancor. I see it as disagreement. Politics is a game of disagreement. You disagree to agree. It is normal. You build consensus around disagreements. And that's what we've been able to manage. And that's what makes APC APC. So you can't be rest assured that we are coming out of this convention bigger, stronger, more reliable, and getting ready to face the next election to deliver to deliver more goodies to the great people of this country.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
All right. Indeed, a lot of dignitaries are lending their voices here at the Eagle Square for the 2022 National Convention of the All Progressives Congress. We have another delegate standing beside me. Let's know you, sir.
My name is Ambassador Farouk Yabo, the ambassador of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan from Sokoto State.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'd see Sokoto State actively participating at this convention. What would you say regarding this convention for 2022? How different is it from other conventions in the past?
This is another incredible celebration of our party unity and also celebration of party victory. This is a long-awaited convention. I'm very, very delighted today that our party members are converging to elect the substantive leadership. And I'm sure this will, as always, position the party to victory in the next coming general elections.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Indeed, a lot of activities happening here. The main event has not started properly, but from what we've been giving you, dishing out to you, you could see that members of the APC are patiently waiting for the convention to kick off properly. They don't care what time this will end. All they want to see is that the best candidate emerge victorious today. Studio is back to you.
Many thanks, Ruth. Very interesting interviews there, particularly like the fact that women are eager to speak. We hope that we'll see that same energy play out in the 2023 elections, not just coming out to vote, but hoping that they would be represented in so many elective positions, talking about contests. Now, we already dealt with that, before we went over to the Eagle Square, talking about the fact that political parties are beginning to shelve contests and, wanting to settle with consensus in the bid to avoid rancor in the party. But Ibrahim Modibo, you made a valid point earlier. You talked about the fact that after this convention, there will be need for a reconciliatory committee to be set up, because you think that some of the candidates who have stepped down today may not really be happy with that decision. I mean, want to, create some form of disharmony in the party. So now looking at all that is playing out now, at this national convention, at the All Progressives Congress, we're talking about 2023. What do you think would happen if you were to tell the future?
Well, I'm very sure, based on the credibility, based on the narratives I've so far gotten, from most of the contestants, they are all very articulate Democrats and Democrats that are called Democrats of conscience. I'm sure that in spite of all the, problems arising here and there, they may not likely think of leaving the party, because this is the biggest party in Sub-Saharan Africa for the purpose of emphasis. Now, what will happen? Because to me, and to so many people, Mr. President is not contesting in 2023. He doesn't have any interest. His own is just to guide the party to victory come 2023. He wants to leave a legacy of excellence, a legacy of democratic culture where people base their perception of democracy on government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So I strongly want to believe that Mr. President, as he is, does not have any interest. And to me, I want to believe that to avoid rancor, this concerns something had to crop up. But I am very sure, based on what I've been able to get on the ground and what have you, there are some people, there are still people that are not happy with the development among the contestants. I'm sure not every one of them must have been at the square. Maybe, I don't know. So to avoid any ill feelings that may arise therefrom, there's a need to have a reconciliatory committee or reconciliatory effort by Mr. President. I'm very happy that he called them before even taking the decision. I think he gave them dinner, sat with them, talked to them, to see to the reason as to why there's a need for us to have a consensus. Now, the major problem that may likely arise is, fundamentally, after this convention, we are going to the presidential primaries. What happens there? Are we also going to toe the line of consensus, or are we going to toe the line of contest? Because in democracy, you must have contest, especially with the crop of refined gentlemen that I've seen, people of character and distinction that have been able to crop up, looking for the presidency of this country. I am sure that a lot of them will never subscribe to any consensus. They will better go to the field, contest, and lose than to think of having a consensus. Because so far already, some of them have already started spending a lot of their monies, go around the country and then printing posters, television jingles, and what have you. So therefore, so now, our party, the great party, the APC, should be able to think of giving a level playing ground for contest. There must be, because if you look at fundamental issues that Mr. President came on board with, when he came on board, he said he wanted to look at the issue of insecurity, look at the issue of corruption, look at the issue of social infrastructure, look at the issue of leaving a legacy of a very transparent and credible electoral process, and also looking at the issue of the judiciary, to give the judiciary that fairness, balance, and equity, so that they operate without let or hindrance. Now, in the course of all this, what we should be thinking about, or what Mr. President should be able to leave as a lasting legacy, is to see that he has left a democratic culture based on the tenets, the norms of democracy, where the people must participate. And therefore, the challenge that we have now, as I've stated, for the purpose of emphasis once again, is to have a formidable force, a team that is coherent, confident, and also purposeful, with a view to going into the presidential primaries as a team, so that when we go into the team, we'll be able to remove the chaff from the grains. We'll be able to pick a candidate based on philosophies, based on his own credible or articulate positions, his manifesto. Unlike now, we've seen that we've not known what this convention would have allowed us the opportunity to listen to all the chairmanship candidates, their manifesto, tell us what you want to do to the party, and then sell yourselves based on the credibility and their profile. But that has not been done. So for us now to think ahead, we have to look at the presidential primaries where there will be level playing ground for this party to move forward, because we don't want implosion already. This party is moving forward. People are moving in every day. People are coming into the party, and therefore this party is becoming too wide. It's just like a mosque church where there will be no get man, and therefore people must come in. So if they come in, the more the merrier. But then we should set standard of transparency, standard of credibility, and also standard of giving free level field for people to move in and contest without fear or favor.
You said something. I'm sure Izinwa will react to that. He keeps saying that the All Progressives Congress is the largest party. Just to remind him that before the APC came on board, we had the largest political party also. And I'm sure some mistakes were made by that party. And that's why we have the APC. Now, we'll talk about all of that much later. But let's talk about another issue. And that's talking about zoning. You know, consensus for this National Working Committee, which this convention is set to bring on board. The chairmanship position was zoned to the North Central. And of course, as we move into 2023, the zoning issue would also come into play. Do you really think that political parties should continue that line, or it should be an issue, like you said, who is credible, come out, tell us what you can do, and then we decide?
Well, I know the origin of the idea of zoning and the philosophy behind it. I have different positions around it. I have one that is personal to me. I don't like it. I don't like zoning as a person. I would wish that we're able to become that kind of country where anybody from anywhere, that's ideal, because I'm an idealist, so you have to pardon that. So that's one part. But reality is also pushed us to the point where the heterogeneous nature of our country desires that if you don't zone a particular, because everything you suffer at the national, people suffer in their states. If you are from a state like Benue, for instance, by the nature of that state, if you are not from a particular tribe, you may never be governor of that state if there is no zoning. All right? If you are from Kogi, you may never be. If you are from my state, Imo State, okay, by the nature of that state, if you are not from a particular area of that state, you may never be governor if there is no zoning. So, to be able to settle some of these challenges, zoning was introduced. But it's supposed to just be a temporary interventionist process to building the kind of country that we want. It cannot become a permanent, you understand? Because those who introduced it are trying to get out of the issues around marginalization, the issues around, and all of those things that are pulling at the very, heart of our country. So for today, I will support zoning because it's able to deal with, because in every place where you go to, you can always find the best. Like it's zoned to Nasarawa now. About 6 or 7 aspirants came for the chairmanship position of the APC. And without being immodest, all of those people who showed interest have been in the public's face. So we know that former governors, former this, former that, okay, showed interest. But at the end of the day, it's now narrowed to an individual. So there can even be contest in the places where it is zoned. So I'm for zoning as a temporary measure to deal with the challenges of nationhood that we are presently going through. But we must also be thinking, because many times nation building must have people who are idealists, people who are thinking in the next few years, is it possible? Because when somebody is saying the son of a nobody, you hear that we want a country where the son of a nobody can become somebody. All of those kind of cliches need to propel us to that point where we are thinking that we must be able to build a nation in which merit, character, integrity, not religion, not ethnicity, not because really, did we contribute in being born anywhere? I woke up and became Igbo. I had no hand in it. I didn't contribute anything to being an Igbo.
Okay, thank you so much, Ezenwa. Of course, you are Igbo and you didn't contribute to it, and I know that you understand Igbo language.
What I'm saying
very well. I'm going to get back to you, and I'm sure that you also understand Hausa language very well. So at this point, we'll continue with this interview right here in the studio, but let's go over to the Eagle Square because we've been conversing in English so far, and I'm thinking that Ezenwa's brother in somewhere in the east, or Ibrahim's sister somewhere in the north, may not be carried along with this conversation. So we'll go over to Eagle Square, where we'll have our correspondent speak in 3 languages. We have Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa, so we can carry everyone along. I want Ezenwa's brother to understand what he's saying right here in the studio.
Thank you very much, studio. Thank you for linking with us. We are here live at the Eagle Square, venue of the APC National Convention 2022. But permit me to, please, studio, speak with my guest in our local languages, which is Hausa. Can we proceed? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yala mai zan so ka kwatanta mana da Allah irin yadda ka ga yadda wanda wajen babban taro na jam'iyyar APC da shekara 2022 ya kasance.
To, salamu alaikum. Sunana Honorable Faruk Slagaro daga jihar Kano. A gaskiya wannan taro na APC taro ne da aka tsara shi ya tsaru da ban taba ganin irin taro na siyasa a ƙasar nan ko in ce a Najeriya kamar wannan taro da APC ta tsara. Ana taro lafiya, kowa ya natsu, ana barin iya mutanen da suke da alhaki su zo su kada ƙuri'a su, ma'ana masu ƙuri'a delegate, securities suna, jami'an tsaro suna ƙoƙarin su. Mutanen APC mutane ne masu daraja, masu da'a, masu hankali. Muna da gwamnoni manyan mutane masu hankali, so kowa yana da'a, ana shewa, ana jin daɗi, kuma za a yi sulhu a fito da an ma yi sulhu, ma'ana an cima matsaya akan jagororin da aka yadda su zo su tafiyar da wannan mulki na shugabancin jam'iyya har ya kai mu ga nasara ga mu sake kafa shugaban ƙasa a Najeriya, kuma mu sake kafa gwamnoni a jihohi 35 da muke da su na ƙasar nan. Wannan jam'iyya ta mu ta APC ita ce babbar jam'iyya da duk yankin Afirka babu jam'iyya babba kamar ta. Kuma alhamdulillah muna godiya ga shugaban ƙasa Janar Muhammadu Buhari a bisa irin salon mulki da adalci da yake tafiyar da shi a cikin jam'iyyar APC da Najeriya, da kuma irin gwamnan mu Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje da adalci da yake yi a jihar mu ta Kano wacce cibiyar kasuwanci ce, kuma APC ita ta cinye zaɓe. Kuma da izinin Allah da wannan taro da muke gani an tsara shi za mu sake cinye taron mu a Najeriya baki daya.
Wani kira za ka yi ga sauran 'yan Najeriya wajen ganin sun ci gaba da goyon baya da kyawun matakai da shugaban Najeriya Muhammadu Buhari ke ɗauka wajen ganin an ciyar da Najeriya gaba da ma al'ummar ta baki daya.
To mu mutanen Najeriya ba abin da za mu yi sai dai godiya da Allah ya bamu Janar Muhammadu Buhari a matsayin shugaban ƙasa. Yana faɗa cewa sai ya tafi za a ga ƙoƙarinsa. A gaskiya yana iyakar bakacin ƙoƙarinsa musamman akan harkar tsaro, inda ba shi bane da lalacewa za ta iya fin yanzu. So muna godiya gare shi, kuma muna kira da jama'a na jam'iyyar APC da ma na Najeriya gaba ɗaya in mun tashi mu tsayar da mutane irin Janar Buhari masu halinsa da za su zo su dora daga inda ya tsaya akan aikinsa na alkhairi.
Matuƙar godiya.
To ina godiya.
Okay, this is my first guest. He spoke extensively in the kind of support that the members were actually giving to the party at their level of turnout during today's convention, APC Convention 2022. Let me also now interview my second guest. A matsayin ka na matashi ya ka kalli irin wannan babban taro da aka shirya, kuma wani irin darasi yake baku a matsayin ku da matasa wajen ganin cewa kun ɗora akan abubuwan da su shugabanni suke kokarin aka tubarin su a yanzu.
To alhamdulillah, abun farko shine kamar yadda ka gani dole mu gode ma Allah kasancewar an fara taro lafiya har zuwa yanzu da nike magana da kai, babu wanda ya rasa ran shi, babu wanda ya ji ciwo, kuma abu yana ta tafiya kamar yadda kowa yake fata. Sai abu na biyu, abin da muka koya daga gare shi a matsayinmu na matasa shine mu tabbatar da cewa APC ta ba mu dama da ya cancanta ta ba mu a matsayinmu na matasa. Shi yasa duk abin da za a yi na matasa muke shigowa ciki mu tabbatar da cewa matasa suna da representation da ya kamata a ce suna da shi a cikin jam'iyya. Mun hito ni na tsaya takara ta mataimakin matasa na ƙasa da aka yi zonin zuwa zon ɗinmu, amma abubuwa suka taso na janye saboda internal crisis da ake samu a cikin jam'iyya. But amma ya kamata a lura da mu matasa da muke tasowa da irin gudunmuwar da muke ba jam'iyya a ko da yaushe, ba tare da lura da cewa mun san wani ko ba mu san wani ba, me muka taɓa yi ma jam'iyya ko kuma me muke da shi wanda za mu ba ma jam'iyya. Ya kamata ko da yaushe a zauna da mu a ji abin da muke da shi, ba wai wanda wani daga gwamna ko wani dan takara zai kawo ya ce wannan shine muke tare da shi, a yi mashi wani abu ko a bashi wani matsayi.
Wanda kira za ka yi ga sauran 'yan uwanka matasa wajen ganin sun ci gaba da bayan nuna cikakken goyon baya ga wannan gwamnati dangane da al'amuran da suka shafi na ci gaba, kuma wajen ganin cewa sun kasance da kyawawan ɗabi'u musamman a yanzu da muke fuskantar zaɓe na shekara ta 2023.
To, ni babban kira na ga matasa shine mu zauna lafiya, mu tsaya mu san ciwon kanmu. Duk idan kowane tattalin arziki na ƙasa yana bisa gadon bayan matasan ƙasan. Idan matasa sun tsaya sun san ciwon kansu, sun yi abin da ya dace, dole ƙasa ta tafi daidai, saboda in sun tsaya daidai da rana ɗaya da ran matasa ya ɓaci, sai kaga al'amuran gwamnati sun ke daidaita. To don haka in muka haɗa kanmu muka tsaya muka ce ga abin da muke so gwamnati ta yi, dole gwamnati za ta yi. To ina kira ga matasa mu haɗa kanmu, mu tsaya mu daina bin abun duniya da ya rinka raba kanmu, mu samu waɗanda suke da hankali da ilimi a cikinmu, mu sa su gaba idan muna da wata bukata daga wurin gwamnati, mu yin bukatar mu a hankali, ta hankali da ilimi da siyasa. Sannan kuma mu ba gwamnati goyon baya a duk inda gwamnati ke neman goyon bayan mu, ba tare da ta ci zarafi ko haƙƙin mu ba. A inda kuma za ta ci zarafin mu ko haƙƙin mu, mu nuna ma gwamnati wannan matsala ce ta cin haƙƙin mu, mu sa full stop, mu sa matsaya a wurin mu ce a wannan ba za mu ɗauka ba, amma ta hanya ta lumana da ruwan sanyi da siyasa da diplomasiya. To, ni ma na gode.
My second guest speaks on the need for Nigerians to make sacrifices, especially as youth, to ensure that they help in contributing for development of this country. He also as well urged the need for the younger ones to vie for political office, to ensure that at least they contribute their quota to the development of the country. Studio, I now hand you over to my colleague Amarachuku Omenka, who is going to make some other interviews in the Igbo language. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fisayo. I'm here with an honorable member. Please, can you tell us your name?
My name is Honorable Uchenwo Sumaklemi.
Okay, Fisayo, can I crave your indulgence to interview him in Igbo language? Thank you.
Yeah.
What one you had a man now about the time?
Yeah, the man about the time convention under APC na Nigeria.
Kedu otu isi hụ ihe a na-eme ugbu a?
Ihe a na-eme taa mara m mma n'anya. O gosi na pati APC wụ pati eji aga mba. Pati nwere ọganihu, pati nwere ịhụnanya. Taa president na ndị pati ya akpọkọtara ụmụnne anyị niile, ndị si ma ndị n'ugwu Hausa ma ndị si Igbo ma ndị si mba mmiri abịa together ka a họpụta ndị ga-achị the party for the next 4 years na-abịa abịa. I'm very, very happy. Obiọma na-akpa m na ihe niile a na-eme taa na-aga n'anya ya, na ndị mmadụ pụtakwara n'igwe ịhọpụta onye ga-achọ anyị na pati n'afọ 2022 to 2026.
Kedu otu isi hụ maka ọrụ nchekwa nke ndị ebe a?
Ọrụ nchekwa nke dị ebe a wụ ndị ọrụ ha wụ
kọmitii ichekwa ihe a na-eme ya ha mere ya ọfụma ha gbalịrị nnọọ ike ha ịgba mbọ na ma ndị uwe ojii ma ndị amị na ndị niile dị iche iche ma ndị na-elekọta ọganihu nke het ha nọ hia na-eme ka ihe na-aga ọfụma pipụl nọ hia na-eri ndị na-aṅụ mmiri ihe niile na-aga n'anya ya adị m very very happy o wee na-akpa m obiọma because ndị mmadụ chebu na pati APC a ga-emenwu this convention but by the special grace of God everything na-aga ọfụma ndị gọvanọs niile nọ nga ndị senators niile nọ here House of Assembly national everywhere udo na-achị n'ime Eagle Square here ebe anyị nọ obiọma akpara m ihu gọvanọ Imo steeti ọ kpara mbọ kpọkọta ndị otu ya ụmụnne ya niile sị ha bịa ka a kwado Muhammad Buhari bụ prezidenti ka e nwee ike họpụta ndị ga-achị pati anyị ka pati anyị nwere ike bụrụ pati eji aga mba pati ga-enwe mmeri pati ga-enwe prezidenti 2023 obiọma na-akpa m well.
Thank you, Fisayo. He's from Imo State. He said the security situation here is... Hello? Hello, Fisayo? Okay.
I can hear you.
I can hear you well. Okay. He said that the security situation here is well and they are ready for the convention. Hello?
All right. Thank you so much, Amara Chuku.
Hello?
All right.
I can hear you well.
Okay. I'm sure we'll come over to you much later as soon as...
Okay, thank you. I can go, Abi.
All right. Many thanks to my colleagues on the field there, trying to, bring other dialects in this conversation just so that we can carry everyone along. And, before we went on that break right here in the studio, Ezenwa actually made a point talking about the fact that it's important that, some positions are zoned just so that, everyone will be given a sense of belonging, because if you do not zone, some ethnic groups may never ever get a taste, leadership position in the country. Okay, we'll go over now to the Eagle Square. I'm sure we have some more interviews before we join one of our respondents who is live in Ibadan.
Welcome them to Eagle Square, and thank you still for joining us back. And we've done interviews in Hausa, we've done interviews in Igbo, and now it's time to do an interview in Yoruba. And then, if you don't mind, let's know who our guest is. Now, then when it's done in Yoruba, you now say all he said in Yoruba, back then in English, and then over back then. So don't be
Hello, yes, this is Cousin. Okay, I'm standing by, yes.
Papa.